Welcome back to Wild Drama Stories. Story number 1. Opie writes, I've been with my partner for 3 years now. As always, things started off great. She has a daughter that I've grown to love as my own. Even though her bio dad is still in the picture, I dropped everything for them. I got a bigger apartment. I switched jobs to make more money. I changed everything to give them the peace of mind they deserve. It was all better than I could have ever imagined until this weekend. That's when I found out she's been cheating on me with her sister's roommate. She didn't have a great relationship with her sister when we first met, and I encouraged her to rekindle it because I knew it bothered her. Her sister is a free spirit, rarely holds down a job, drinks and does absurd amounts of coke and X just to pass the time. She lives with 4 guys, who her and my partner have known since middle school. They seemed cool enough the first few times I hung out with them, so whenever she wanted to go hang out with her sister, I wouldn't bat an eye. I found out during our camping trip for Memorial Day weekend. When she was in the bathroom with her daughter, I grabbed her phone to look at some of the videos she had been taking. But admittedly, curiosity got the better of me, and I went through her messages. And that's when I saw her text to the roommate. I felt almost paralyzed. It almost felt like I was going to black out, but I somehow managed to gather myself and chill out. I took some screenshots of the text to have as proof and put her phone back in her bag. I didn't say anything to her. We only had a few hours left before we came home, and I wanted to spend those hours with her daughter. The past few days, I've been thinking of what to do, and the best solution I can think of is just packing my stuff up and ghosting her. I am quitting my job tomorrow morning, and after she's left for work, I'll grab my stuff and leave her with a printout of the messages I read. I'm still in a daze. My whole life is gone now. The future I saw for us is nothing, and I'm not sure how to process all of this still. I'm calling my brother a few states away to see if I can stay with him and set up shop elsewhere. Tonight though, I have to lay down next to her, and I'm not sure I won't break down knowing what's coming. Update. First, I want to thank everyone for their kind words and advice. I am doing the best I can right now. I am meeting with my boss in an hour or so to wrap that up. I am also taking the advice of talking to her baby's dad about me leaving. We have always had a good relationship, and I want to give him a heads up on what's coming. As far as the apartment goes, we only have 3 more months on the lease, and I am planning on paying for the remaining months, mainly so her daughter has somewhere to stay for the time being. I made sure she knows that I love her and always will. Holding her this morning, knowing it was the last time I would ever see her, was the most difficult thing I've ever done, and it took everything inside of me to not sob while doing that. I'll update later once I have all my stuff and am away from the city. Thank you guys, you have no idea how comforting it is to have your kind words to come back to. Update 2. I know I said I would update when it was all over, but you guys are right. I should have a talk with her daughter before I go. So when her bio dad picks her up from daycare, I will be meeting them and talking to her in person before I go. It means a lot that he is letting me do this, and hopefully it's just enough closure for her. Update 3. I met up with bio dad and the little one. You guys were right. I really needed to have that conversation with her to let her know that even if I'm not there, that I'll always love her and that it isn't her fault that I'm leaving. I did cry. I cried a lot, actually. I know I'll eventually fade from her memory and just become someone she has vague memories with, but I'll remember her until my last breath. I never knew I wanted kids until she came into my life and showed me what true and pure love is. I thanked her dad for letting me have that moment with her. I gave him that Disneyland picture in case she ever asks about me. He is aware of what went down and who my ex is spending her time with. As for my ex, I left the screenshots on the kitchen table along with my key to the apartment. I've blocked her number and my family did the same. I also blocked any mutual friends' numbers in case she tries to reach me through them. It's crazy that I'm leaving behind the last 5 years of my life, but I honestly can't stay here. My brother is taking me out in LA. I until I figure out what my next move is. I'm off all social media, and once I get to my brother's, I'll change my number. I'm sorry if this update is anticlimactic, but that's how I wanted all this to go down. I'll update you guys when I am all settled down. I do just want to say that I loved them with every ounce of my being. I'll miss the walks around the apartment complex, the random trips to Walgreens, watching Sophia the First until I memorized the episodes by heart, especially coming home from work and feeling like I mattered, feeling like I had a purpose, and that no matter what went on during my day, that all of that wouldn't matter once I opened that door. I'll miss all of it, but I know deep down I have to let go. Be safe, everyone. I'll try and update this soon. Update 4. I want to thank you guys for all the support and even the few negative comments that I got on this. It's nice knowing I wasn't completely alone through the early parts of this whole situation. I'm at my brother's now and still getting set up, but I'm hopeful that things will get better with time. I'll be honest, it's brutal right now, and I still get flooded with sadness constantly. On the drive here, I had to pull over and let it all out. I'm sure right now we would be having dinner or watching a movie, and instead, I'm on my brother's porch trying to not cry while I type this out. I haven't heard anything from the ex yet, which is helping, but knowing her, she'll try and find a way to reach me. Everything reminds me of them. I saw a Little Mermaid poster earlier and almost lost it. I never got to take the little one to see it, and that just kills me. I do wonder though what I was missing or where I came up short for this to happen. I've run circles around it and I can't explain it. I hope I heal fast from this because I've got a whole life to live. I hope I did enough for the little one to not have been hurt by all this. I hope she keeps a sliver of me in her memory, and I hope she is loved like I loved her. Again, thank you for all the positivity and the encouragement. I'll make it out of this. I've done it before and I'll do it again. Maybe I'll update this sometime in the future, or feel free to send me a message. Be safe, and I wish everyone the absolute best. OP, stories like this are so heartbreaking. It's sad that there are people out there that don't know what they have, that they are willing to throw it away by cheating. It is very clear that you loved your ex and her daughter very, very much, and that you did your absolute best for them, that they were your life, that you gave it everything you had. And I don't think that you fell short in any way, or that there was a thing with you. I think it was her, OP. Some people just don't appreciate having a good, loving partner that will do anything for them. You deserve better, OP. You deserve somebody that feels the same way about you than you do about her. And unfortunately, that just isn't your ex. After all the love you've shown her and her daughter, for her just to go off and cheat on you like that, it's not even worth trying to figure it out or trying to work through it. You're not married, so it's even easier to just cut ties and move on as you have. And I know it hurts, OP. You've said how much it hurts and how much you have going on inside of you. It will take time. Pain like this doesn't heal overnight. But OP, you've already taken the first big step by leaving. But now you have to start believing, OP, that it wasn't about you. It wasn't that you weren't good enough. If anything, your ex wasn't good enough. And OP, I'm glad that you realize that you've got your whole life still to live. And I'm telling you, in your future, there's going to be a woman who is going to appreciate you and love you and everything you have to offer. And you will be happy again, OP. I really do believe that you are going to be happy again. And the right person, as I said, the right person is out there for you, OP. Good luck. Story number 2. OP writes, I am getting a gastric bypass in 2 weeks. I've had this planned for over a year when I got my insurance. It was a snap decision, but my weight has been an issue my whole life, and my GP has been pushing me to get the surgery after multiple failed attempts at trying to lose it myself and multiple health issues being made worse by my weight. A year ago, I made the decision during my lunch break to get health insurance, and the fortnightly payments have pretty much kept me motivated in my journey to better myself, because oh my effing goodness, it's so much money. My husband was so angry when I called and told him I signed up for insurance. He told me it was a waste of my money and I didn't need to lose weight. But after a short argument, he didn't bring it up again. Months went by and I forgot about it because I had a whole year to wait before I could do anything. But I was taking steps to better myself in other areas. I started dressing nicer. I went into a clothes store for the first time in a decade and spent $1,000 on a new wardrobe. Which sounds like a lot, but I have hated myself for so long. I only wore t-shirts and joggers. I went to the hairdresser for the first time in 6 years. I went to the dentist. I am looking into maybe getting braces. I started my bachelor's of data science. Like when I say I've completely taken this as a chance to become a new person, I'm not joking. I want to come out of this being proud of who I am and not just the same me in a skinnier body. My husband is not supportive at all of any of this. Every step he has just told me I'm doing the wrong thing. I'm spending too much money. The clothes I wear don't look good. I'm not smart enough to do data science. I just ignore it because I thought maybe if I improved myself, it would motivate him to do the same. He doesn't even need to get a better job or anything like that. But maybe he could cook more or do stuff around the house or take care of things I can't because I'm so busy. But he won't. Like we are 25 and 26. We can do anything we want. Our life isn't over yet. We have only just started it. He doesn't have to spend the rest of his life doing nothing. The closer we get to my surgery date, the more he would send me videos of bariatric surgery patients telling their stories going wrong to scare me out of doing it. He would tell me statistics of me gaining weight back and that I'll probably be fat, so there is no point. After about a week of this, I snapped and an argument ensued. I called him lazy and said that he's living off my money, so I don't know why he complains so much. And he told me he hopes I don't wake up from the surgery and walked out. He won't answer my calls now, and I think in 2 weeks I'm going to come out of surgery without a stomach or a husband. Update. So today we finally had a talk. I know you were all hoping I would just ghost him or something, but I didn't really want to do that. We met for lunch, and he told me he has been at his parents' house, cooling his head, and he was sorry he hadn't answered any of my calls or messages, but he had to sort his thoughts out. He told me that he felt really upset that I was making all these decisions without talking to him first, and that he was also scared that I could make such big decisions, especially ones like major surgery, without even consulting him. I thought about it and told him that I understood that he was feeling left behind and that I should have spoken to him more, but I also felt that because these decisions were about my body and my own growth, I guess I got carried away in the excitement. However, that was not an excuse at all for his comment, and I was really hurt by it. Him constantly trying to dissuade me from improving was disgusting and not on. He apologized and said he felt that I wasn't hearing him, and he felt this was the only way for him to get me to understand. Although this may not be the outcome you all wanted to hear, we are going to get couples therapy. I said, for now, I want to separate for 2 months. Then we will start couples therapy together to see if we can heal. I think these 2 months are also to mull over my feelings a bit more too. And for him to also really think about how he wants to move forward. We will see. OP, I think it's a good idea that you and your husband will take a 2-month break and you can focus on the surgery and recovering, and your husband can have more time to clear his thoughts. And yes, what a very hurtful and terrible thing to hear your significant other say, that he wishes you don't wake up from surgery. But at least the two of you have gotten together and you've discussed it, what was going on with him and how you're feeling about it. So let's see in 2 months' time how things go when the two of you get back together. But if he continues in this way, OP, if he continues to break you down and to tell you that you're not smart enough to do this, or that you don't look good in those clothes, or anything negative like that, then you really do have to rethink this relationship, this marriage. A relationship is supposed to be about encouraging each other, for both parties to be the very best version of themselves. And you seem very much OP. I can see you are so devoted to becoming that best version of yourself. And as you say, to be a new person and not just the same person, but now in a skinny body. And there's nothing wrong with any of the things you are doing. There's nothing radical about it. You need the surgery for your health, and it sounds like your mental health, and not only your physical health. You have a plan for your future, and maybe that is where your husband feels left out, because it doesn't sound like he's ready yet to make those decisions about what he wants for himself. And seeing you going ahead and making all these exciting changes and preparing for a future, the future you want, I guess that's got him feeling really insecure and just unsure about the relationship. So once again, all I can say is, let's see what happens in 2 months. Hopefully he comes around. But if he doesn't, OP, well, you know what to do. OP, good luck with your surgery. Story number 3. OP writes, we first started dating almost 8 years ago. I own my house and he rented an apartment. Right off the bat, he started wanting to be together pretty regularly. Initially, I thought it was just the honeymoon phase. I attempted to set boundaries and started by trying to let me have one set day a week to myself. On that day, he would call me with plans and ideas, but then say something like, oh, but it's your day to yourself. I guess we can't do anything. So I changed it up to a floating day. That way, if something was going on, he wouldn't feel like it's off limits. Eventually, he would call me crying that I didn't want to see him on those days. And I would cave and let him come over because I would feel horrible. About 3 months in, I invited him to stay over one night, and he essentially never left. He was sober all the time, and my ability to have alone time disappeared. When I would ask him to give me space, he would say he doesn't understand why I would need alone time, or vaguely accuse me of cheating because I wanted time away from him. He would tell me that on my car ride to work, I am alone, so that counts as alone time. If I wanted to go out with friends without him, he would get upset because he didn't understand why I would want space away from him. I would come home and he would give me the silent treatment for a while. I would take the small times when he was at work and I had a day off for my alone time. I've worked full time, so it was a rare occasion, but I needed them. But about 3 years ago, he completely quit his job. He said he wanted to be a Twitch streamer, and if he pursued that, I don't know, because he wouldn't speak to me about it. This meant he was home all the time. He schedules time with his friends while I'm working, and will only do things while I'm at work. If I get home and he's playing video games with his friends, he will quit. About 2 months ago, he got a new job, but made sure to find something he could work from home to do. Although now he's complaining, and I think he will be quitting soon. I'm at my wit's end. I feel like I've completely lost myself, and don't trust myself at all. I felt like this isn't healthy, but he's so adamant I'm wrong. I don't know what to think anymore. Edit. Thank you to everyone so much for their advice. This is a little overwhelming. Several people have asked if this is what I want my life to be like, and the answer is it's not. But I don't even know where to begin to get out. If I'm completely honest, I am a little scared of him. He has never been physical with me, but has always been very quick to anger with strangers and have confrontations with them. I have animals and take care of my elderly mom now because my dad recently passed. That are factors in this story. If anyone has any suggestions on what my next steps are, please let me know. And a month later, here's Hopi's update. First off, thank you for the outpouring of love and support. The messages checking in on me, it meant and means the world. I know everyone wanted updates on my story. Honestly, I'm still in shock about this, but I broke up with him. He got a remote job and worked from home, but quit it about 3 weeks ago and never told me. He kept up a facade that he was working and never mentioned it to me. I had my suspicions, but I wanted him to tell me. I finally asked him about it and he admitted all of it to me. And then I just completely lost it from there and told him he needed to leave. I'm beyond concerned I will let him come back. I'm struggling to adjust without him because it was so long together. It was my normal life. If anyone has any advice to keep standing my ground, I would love to hear it. Well, OP, it just sounds like you and your ex have very different ideas of what you want in a relationship in terms of how much time you want to spend together. Some people want to be with their significant other all the time, and others, like you, they want some space. And neither one of these are right or wrong. It all depends on the couple, and if both parties want the same thing, then there's no issue. Obviously, there's no problem. But this was a very big problem for you, OP, and you said you felt that you lost yourself, and your ex just couldn't understand that. And now you've broken up, but you feel that you might give in and you might get back together with him. This is a normal feeling when you've been with someone a long time, because now there's this void and you haven't found anything yet to fill it with. And also where once you had the familiar, now it's gone and you have to start over and find your new normal. You have to find something to fill that void with. You have your alone time, OP. So use it to reevaluate what it is that you want in life. Well, that's it for this edition of Wild Drama Stories. Thank you so much for joining me, and if you did like this, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing and leave me a comment. And I will see you again next time. Be kind to yourself. Bye.